Hi, it's Matt Kendall
Hi.
here in May or something, isn't it? 2022. I'm just with Marta today, who did her training at the beginning of the year, early on in the year anyway. And we've just been going through her case study. So when you do the training, we spend about sort of half an hour, 40 minutes going through her case studies to make sure she understood, or making sure you understand the whole process, and so we can get her certified. So Marta, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you.
Cool. Now, I know that you're based in London as well. And what is a little bit about your background? What you trained in? What were you doing before you learned about IEMT?
Yeah, so I have a corporate background. So I worked over 15 years in corporate world, and for during pandemic, for all these years, I attended loads of different trainings around performance, mindset, and mindfulness, NLP, and over a year ago, nearly 2 years ago, I started studying RTT. So that's what last year I got qualified.
And that's rapid transformational therapy. And that's Marisa Peer, isn't
That's
it? Yeah.
Marisa Peer, correct. So I was always interested in working in my corporate world and working with people from all sort of different backgrounds and culture. It was always so interesting for me to see how very similar we are, and also how very much this internal monologue we have and this limiting beliefs and things we tell ourselves, how they really shape our lives and our decisions and where we are in life, professional life, private life. So I always wanted to be able to help myself, but also to be able to help other people to change it, to twist it, to do things differently. And that's how all this mindfulness, NLP, and then RTT. So I got qualified last year in rapid transformational therapy, and I'm also certified hypnotherapist. And then, so this is shortly about my background, but then I suppose you will ask me about how did I, how did it start with IEMT, I suppose.
That's correct. You've seen these videos before, so yes.
So my friend Agatha, who is also now qualified practitioner, she told me about it. I think it was summer last year or autumn last year. She told me that she met this amazing guy, Matt, and she's going to train with him. There's this super interesting thing. And then when she told me about it, I didn't really pay much attention. And then we had another conversation in January, and she said, you know, this training is happening. It's coming next weekend. I can't wait. And then I started looking at it. So what is it about? And I started watching all the videos, and I connected with you on Facebook. And then you said, oh, sorry, I have no more places available for this weekend. But luckily, somehow you found it, and I managed to do my training. It was end of January. I got really very, very intrigued after watching all your videos and on YouTube and Facebook. And I thought, this is exactly what I want to do. I want to explore it more.
Excellent. So you trained in RTT, rapid transformational therapy, with the Marisa Peer, and that's hypnotherapy mainly, isn't it? From my understanding.
Well, but RTT is really a hybrid of hypnotherapy, NLP, CBT. So it's a little bit of a combination of all these tools.
A little bit of everything. Okay. And then you knew Agatha, and she was doing the training, and basically you then found out about it yourself. You did your research, which is always really good. And yeah, I think somebody dropped out or something, because it was a big class, I remember. So somebody dropped out, so we were able to get you onto that training.
I was really desperate when you told me you have no place. What do you mean? How is it not possible? Why can I not join?
Well, it's always
I didn't
busy.
Want to wait.
I know. That's what. Well, I am always busy. That's why, because a lot of people want to do it. So,
but I really wanted to do that. I thought this is exactly what I want to do, and I want to do it now.
Well,
so I was so happy.
But also because so we'll get on to the training, because before the training I send out a lot of materials for people to watch, videos, the manual and stuff, because basically the more that somebody brings to the training, the more they're going to get out of it, the more preparation they do. You know, back in the olden days, like pre-pandemic, people would just arrive at my clinic, you know, my training facility, and they'd get the manual and would start there. And so a lot of the time I'm literally just reading a manual to them. And so now I've decided it's better if I give people this manual, if I give them some training material, some videos to watch, some preparation, when they then arrive, on the virtual training, the online training, we're off to the races. They've already done the theory to an extent. I'm going to go through everything. We could now spend more time actually doing the thing itself.
And I think I really love the fact that you did share all these materials prior to the course, so at least you had a chance to go through it. Of course, when I looked at it for the first time, I thought, what is this? How am I even going to, go through all this? But I think it was absolutely brilliant. So you kind of knew also the structure of the course. So it was very important to get.
Yeah, because everything I do is very modular. When I first learned IEMT, it was quite conceptual, and I don't like that way of learning. I like things to be like, this is a module, these are the steps, this is what you do, this is, step by step, say this, do that, especially as training tools, because once you get to do all these things, all the different modules, you can obviously then be, more fluid and sort of responsive. But when you're learning, I like to have it do this, do that, do this, do that. So you've already done lots of trainings and stuff as well, through your corporate career as well. What did you find? How was it going through the 2 days for yourself with all the materials, the trainings, the actual delivery? What was it like going through the IEMT practitioner training?
Yeah, so I think, like I said, receiving all these materials prior to the actual course was great. So it gave me a chance to just get a better understanding. And then the course itself, I love the fact that we got to practice so much. So first you would give us a bit of introduction, that you will show us how it should be done, and then we got a chance to practice really a lot. And that was so important. And also, like we were talking earlier, even practicing it, how that would work when you do your online sessions, but also getting to practice with different people, so it was not always the same person. And also, of course, people react differently, so that was also a very important thing. I like the fact that it was over 2 days. We got enough, we got all the breaks, everything that was needed. And yeah, I think it was brilliant.
And because you'd never experienced IEMT before, had you?
No.
What was it like experiencing IEMT and seeing other people?
Absolutely mind-blowing. Still is for me. Is it's an incredible method. So I was so happy, so pleased that I managed to do that. And yeah, it was my first experience.
And when, because you said it was mind-blowing, what was it about it that was mind-blowing? Was it the speed? Was it the response? What was it that was...
The response, and how amazingly it works, how effective it is. It's like a miracle, really. So going through all this exercise, and I think, okay, this pattern worked really well, so I'm sure with this one it's not going to work, but it did. So everything we were doing, it was working so amazingly well. And again, this practice, this getting a chance to practice with different people, it was so important.
And so how was it going from the training room, the online training room, to using it with your own case studies? Because when you do a training, for those who are watching, you go and work with 2 different people for 2 sessions. Some people do 3 sessions, but generally you try everything out with 2 different people, and you submit it for me so I can review it, and then I can obviously certify you. So how was it taking it from the training room to real world people who knew nothing about IEMT?
No. Yeah, it was a bit scary, I must say, at the beginning, and following the script with the first session mainly, but it was absolutely incredible to see the results even at the very beginning, and these people as well think, oh my gosh, it's really working. And it's so I love the fact that I had a script so I could rely on it, especially when you do it for the first time and you have a full session and you have to rely on yourself. It's so important to have something you can look at. So with the first one, I think I was a bit more nervous. With the second, it kind of, I think you realize you just have to be really present, listen to what is happening, and then it just flows. It just comes
Mm.
naturally, the sequence of what and how you should use all
And,
the
and without
tools.
obviously giving anything confidential away, what kind of issues were you helping people with, and what were the results you were able to generate within the 2 sessions, and how have the clients been since?
So my first case study was anxiety. We had some amazing, the person I was working with, she had some amazing realizations during the session. It was so great for me to see it, what she understood for herself during the session. The results were really great, and I speak to her every week almost. And I know that what she, the conclusions she made during the session, she's still, yeah, she's just living a much more emotionally balanced life. So that was what we wanted to achieve, really.
Yeah, and this is it. It's like a lot of therapy in sort of the complementary sort of side of things. They will try to often make people feel good. They will try, you know, with NLP, it's a lot of back beating your chest, walking on coals or broken glass, and, you know, for some reason, and boosting up those feelings and putting a big happy anchor on crap, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And with IEMT, it's not like that at all. It's basically, if you incapacitate the negative, people are all right. You know, people will just be fine if you bring their responses back to a normal level. And so they are much more emotionally in control. And you found, you know, and did you notice a big difference in the clients between the 2 sessions that you saw them as well?
Yes, definitely. So
Yeah.
after the first one, she was definitely calmer. So it's amazing, the results you see after even one session.
Yeah.
And then the second comes and working on identities. That's, I think, my favorite part of it.
And the thing is, people aren't trying to feel more confident or happier. They just generally are. Because when you work with all these rooted issues of, you know, negative feelings, negative emotions, memories, and identities, and you really update them to who they are. And with IEMT as well, it's not just about the eye movements, it's about these patterns of chronicity, and also these different structures that we give you as well, these different tools that you can use, like the PSACs, the physiological state accessing cues, and the episodic time. So I know they had great, yeah, they had great success implementing the different tools as well, didn't you, with the clients? So
yes, I wanted to use them all, you know, but of course you can't pack everything into a session. But I was so excited about it that, and I did as well with my second case study. That was someone who wanted to, who had a very toxic relationship with a parent and a sibling, and they wanted to, and this feeling of feeling worthless, feeling not good enough. So she wanted to kind of neutralize these feelings and get a little bit feel better about herself. And again, I use similar tools. My favorite identities worked really well here as well, but also everything else. And it's just what I love about it is just even seeing how the person's posture is changing. This kind of this relief, what happens with the shoulders, the neck, the facial expressions. You just really see it, and this is so incredible.
No, I've had sessions where, especially when it's been in person, where I've had the client in my waiting room, and I've been in the waiting room, and they're like, "Are we starting?" And I'm like, "Oh, hi," because I've not recognized them. Because especially when I've worked with guys with low self-esteem issues, they would come to the first session quite scruffy, a bit disheveled, you know, not being taking care of themselves. And after the session, they've gone out, they've maybe shaved, you know, they've had their hair cut, they've dressed differently, they've been drinking more water, they're working. I haven't told them to.
I know,
It's
but
just
that's, yeah, like a natural need coming from the inside.
Yes, because if you feel crap and unwell, it doesn't matter what you do externally, it's not going to change the internal very well. Once you change the internal, the external becomes very easy to kind of change. And so cool.
And I think this is absolutely, this is the beauty of doing this job, like to see these people change. And then even when someone tells you, I feel balanced, I feel calm, I feel I feel just good, and nothing really happened, you know, nothing, the circumstances where they are in, nothing changed, but this calmness coming from within is what makes such a huge difference.
And also because people have procrastination and motivational issues, once you're feeling like this, you can actually just now focus on what it is you want to do
that's where it all starts.
Without all of the hard work, to be perfect. So the hard work is usually going against the emotion and the identities, the feelings, you know. So for example, say, you know, from your corporate background, say that somebody wanted to go for a promotion, and when they think about going for that promotion, they then think about all the what, you know, and I'm not good enough. So they're trying to fight through all of this.
Yeah.
And if you just work with all of those emotions and kinesthetics and identities, when they go for the promotion, it's like, well, yeah, I can do this. You know what I mean?
Totally,
I don't have to fight it. I can actually go with it. I know we're running out of time because you've got clients and stuff. Let me just ask you one thing. What are you now going to go do? Now you're going to be a practitioner later on today, hopefully. How do you see yourself working with clients in future? And what are you excited to use IEMT for?
Oof, I'm excited to use anything that IEMT brings. Like I said, identity, I quite like the results and what happens when you work on identity, but yeah, I just want to use it as much as possible. I want to practice, first of all, and to talk to people about it and to show how amazing, how incredible the results can be. So my main goal now is to practice as much as possible.
Brilliant. And now there are going to be some people who are sat on the fence thinking, do I need another skill? Because you'd already done, how long does it take to train an RTT, by the way?
Around a year.
So a year, right? So it takes a year to do that. Now, I don't know much about it, and I'm sure it's very good, and know Marisa Peer is very well respected. And people often say, do I need to do another course? Do I need to do? I always say, you should do another course if you're going to use the skills. If not, there's not much point sort of doing it. So for those people who have either done RTT or hypnotherapy or CBT and who are sitting on the fence thinking, should I have IEMT in my toolkit? What do you have to say to those people?
Totally, absolutely. I think it's absolutely incredible, and it's very effective, and it works quickly, but it also has amazing and long-lasting results. That's what I love, and I tried it on myself as well. And things that I worked on, yeah, it just works.
Yeah, because so the things that you did, because obviously when you go through the training, you get to work on yourself quite a lot.
Yeah.
And so you obviously got some quite good changes from yourself over the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, things that didn't come back, they are done, gone, they don't exist, and they are I'm indifferent to those.
Now,
so it just really works. So if I were to recommend it, and I do recommend it to people, I tell everyone about it.
Good. I'll be setting up an affiliate scheme soon, so
yeah, please do. Yes, I want to. No, it's definitely something worth considering. There's all these videos that you post on YouTube, so if anyone wants to learn a bit more, they can see.
And also as well, because I do provide a lot of post-course support as well, because obviously you get a WhatsApp group of all your peers who go to the group as well. You get a Facebook group, which I've restarted.
Which I wanted to add to it as well. Yeah, and I think it's really brilliant, the fact that we have our WhatsApp group. If you want to consult something, if you want to ask people, you can always do that. And also you are so easily approachable, and I think it's great. So you're always there if
yeah, because I do find that, because when I've done courses before, not IEMT but other trainings, it's quite hard to get hold of the trainer afterwards, you know, and which I don't think is great. And I like to be available, because it's not, I see that, you know, I'm here to train you, but I'm also here to make you a good practitioner. So I do,
which I think is so important, especially at the beginning. You want to know, you might not need to, but you know, the fact that I know that if I need to talk to you, you're there.
And via email and Zoom, and also I know do a monthly Q&A. Just for my practitioner. Well, for the people who've been through the course, you don't need to be a practitioner, but people have been
and also the practice sessions.
Yeah, and the practice sessions as well. Marta, if people want to work with you, do you have an online presence that people can find you at all?
My Facebook is my Instagram is called My Me Time, so I'm there, and I'm also on Facebook, Marta Z-E-T. My surname is a bit difficult, so it's I decided to make it easier.
Marta Z. I will put I'll post some links for you. Thank you very much, and good luck working with your clients today.
Thank you very much. I'm really pleased that I managed to join this January course, and yeah, I love IEMT, and I'm the want to be IEMT ambassador and tell everyone how amazing it is.
Brilliant. You go do that
you.
and send them my way.
Yes, I will.
See you later.
Thank you very much. Take care,
Bye,
man.
bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.